You're muted.
We're good now.
All right, let's try this again.
I don't know how that happened.
Stay hot. Here we go. Well, hey, guys, welcome into the show. Happy Sunday. Pre-game show Sunday. Huge day for Baltimore sports fans, right? We understand what's happening over at Camden Yards. Orioles, Tigers. Orioles are on the brink of a postseason berth, but we do these pre-game shows on Sunday, covering things with the Ravens. And I'll tell you what, guys, this game for the Ravens is the biggest game of the year. Why? It's the game that's right now. But historically speaking, teams that fall into 0-3 can't get out of the hole. We will talk about that and more. We'll update on what's going around the NFL. Games just kicked off. Our fantasy teams are all over the place. We'll have our best bets. We'll have our next rush of Deep Eddy crushes, and then we'll do some gridiron golf and everything in between. We'll do some more updates on the Baltimore Orioles, so don't you guys worry. But we do this Sunday and Monday for Orioles fans. By the way, I'll get this out of the way. There's a player that you'll want to hear from. You know what? He's a guy that's loved in Birdland. That's all I'll leave it at. But we actually got a full house today. We got Rocco, Zach, Kevin.
Glad everybody decided to wake up with us today.
Including you, Kevin.
Yes, including me. Actually, I was up later than I thought because the apartment mini flooded. So,
what?
Yeah, because there was a big rainstorm last night, and our windows haven't been sealed. Then they were sealed. Now they're not sealed again. And so, 2 a.m. in the morning, we just hear water dripping, and we had to fix that.
Yeah, it must be the week for that. So, by the way, Brad here. How's it going?
Hey, Brad.
So, Christian's wife, she is in the apartments over at Brewers Hill, and her pool leaked, and
wow.
people had to be displaced because it's a rooftop pool. Ooh. And
oh wow,
yeah. So
Jeez.
Crazy. I mean, apparently the god is caught on fire. Titty bars catching on fire. Pools leaking. Just been a week.
Yeah.
Well, we made it to Sunday.
Dude, that's terrifying though. That's like the videos you see when the roof starts to cave in with all the water.
Yeah.
You're just absolutely not. Can't do that.
Oh, the pictures are crazy.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Well, that's a lot to take in right now.
Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday, everyone. But hey, we're here to have a good time. We're going to get you ready for the Ravens and Cowboys to kick off at 4:25. But in the meantime, we're going to have some fun, talk about some best bets, game picks. I'm going to try to make some orange crushes again. Like I said, I thought it's a good thing to build off of last week. And first things first, at least with the Orioles. Hey, guys, welcome back, Jordan Westberg and Ramon Arias. Hey. Been a while for Westy specifically. He's back. Ramon's back. And you just feel like the band's getting together, what's left of the band, at the right time, right? The last one that they hope to get back would be Grayson Rodriguez down the stretch. But we will update the Orioles game as we move forward. But guys, let's talk about the Ravens. I mentioned to start the show, right? 129 teams in the last 25 years have started 0-3. Only one has made the postseason, and that was the 2018 Houston Texans. So to say that this is kind of a playoff game for Baltimore, I think is a pretty fair assessment if we're looking historically, and just like Kevin Garnett says, Kevin, anything's possible. And yes, it is true. You can't really fall in a hole, go 0-3. Why? The Ravens have to play Buffalo and Cincy on back-to-back weeks. And it's just, hey, I'm not saying that things are meant to be broken, but 129 teams, the odds are not in your favor. And the biggest thing right now for the Baltimore Ravens is getting back on track. But before we talk about how they get back on track, I'll give you an update on something that we're doing as well, because we have game picks. We'll save the game pick for the Ravens and Cowboys at the end. But with games going on, each of us had our game picks for the 1 o'clock slates. And Zach, do you have that graphic?
Our locks.
Of our locks?
Yep. Here we go.
All right, so locks of the week. I got Bucks, Browns, Raiders. Zach, you're with me with the Bucks. You got Ravens then and Texans. Brad going Colts, Steelers over the Chargers, and Vikings over the Texans.
Yep, looking good so far.
Rocco, Eagles, Raiders, Lions, and Kevin, Ravens, Bengals, Bucks. Bengals play the Commanders on Monday night. Bucks are taking on the Broncos. And Bo Nix, 4 for 4, 70 yards and a touchdown.
Damn.
To start off the game for the Broncos.
Although it was a rushing touchdown, so still no starting rookie quarterbacks throw one, right?
That's what
Jaden Daniels didn't throw one yet.
No, he's ran one in because they're only getting rushing touchdowns.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still
No
don't
passing
think one
touchdowns
is.
from a rookie.
Yeah, I still don't think they're
Still not there.
Yeah.
Still not
I
there.
wanted someone to take the Broncos over the Bucs so bad. I just didn't have the courage to do it because I'm just the biggest Bo Nix hater.
And I'm a huge Baker Mayfield lover. So
Same. Yeah.
Dude's just balling out. So.
He's balling out, and that would be an upset. Hey, talk about a team that needs a win. Denver needs a win.
Yep.
But we have our dogs for later on. But since ours are in the 4:00 window, Rocco has his playing right now, and Rock, it's off to a good start. Who is your dog?
My dog, and for a good reason, it's the Packers. So they were underdogs on the road in Tennessee with Malik Willis making his return to Nashville as the starting quarterback of the Packers with Jordan Love out. So they're off to a good start. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah,
Malik Willis had a touchdown early.
Malik Willis touchdown.
In his return, could be a statement game for him, could be a statement game for the Packers without their star quarterback. So Malik Willis and the Packers, I'm riding with them. They're my dog.
Dog. And we'll find out 7-0. Malik Willis. It's always a thing when you play against your former team.
Yeah.
Like it always is. It goes two ways, really, really bad, or he lights you up. There's no in between. And the other game going on right now with action. How about the Vikings and Sam Darnold? Already scored, and Justin Jefferson. Touchdown again, 7-0 Vikes.
Yeah. I'm telling you, Vikings, it's their year. It's their year. I think Sam Darnold's just playing out of his mind. This reminds me of like a Geno Smith resurgence.
Dude, it's like what quarterbacks can do when they leave the Panthers.
Yeah.
I mean, you've seen it with Baker Mayfield lining up as the D lineman in scout team practices, and then Sam Darnold's doing what he's doing. It's like you leave that organization, seems like you go on to better things. Could be the case for Bryce Young. You never know down the line, but we'll see.
Could be, and a lot of people have been saying things. Maybe we pull up the latest comments from Rex Ryan about how he feels about the Panthers and Dave Canales, the head coach of the Panthers. But for the Baltimore Ravens here, we know what's at stake. Cowboys are just humiliated in Dallas, and maybe the Saints are that good, or maybe Dallas just got smacked in the mouth. Both could be right, or there might be something in the middle, right? So two things, guys, fair to say for the Ravens priority-wise is – how are you going to defend Micah Parsons in that defensive line and that pass rush? And then on the defensive side for Baltimore, stop CeeDee Lamb. The Cowboys don't run the football well, but CeeDee Lamb is an elite wide receiver. We saw all of that. So why don't we kick it off, Kev, where you had the conversation with Q about the offensive line. And we're going to play that clip right now because that really is going to be the key so far for the Ravens on the offensive side of the ball. So let's play that for you real quickly.
Talking about Rashad?
No, it should be I got it.
Okay.
The point right now in the fan base queue is John Harbaugh. Obviously, a couple of challenges last week that pretty obviously probably shouldn't have been challenged. Devontae Adams essentially called out John Harbaugh over it and was like, I don't know what they were so worried about. I wasn't too worried, though. They felt like they had to go out there and look at it, but I wasn't worried about it. So, it's a situation where, you got former players, saying, I don't know what they were doing over there. Chris Long's talking about this O-line rotation. Like, I don't know what they're doing over there. It just feels like everybody is seeing it. And the thing that gets the fan base riled up as well is like, oh, well, everybody's talking about it, but John Harbaugh is saying all this other different stuff. And that's where it is, where a lot of the fan base is like, does John Harbaugh not see it? Is he being stubborn about it? John Harbaugh is the biggest point the fan base is talking about right now.
Well, it is interesting because but John, in Friday's practice, they were saying that in the media portion of it, he was directly over there at that offensive line. And he was like working with them and the whole nine. And I get it. I think he knows that he is saying one thing to the media, and I'm sure in his coaches' meetings and all that, he is doubling down, making sure that, look, I'm not about to go down with this ship. I'm going to right the ship before we go down. That's where I think for John, challenges need to kind of stay in his pocket. He has to take a hard look at what is going on as far as his analytics guys and what maybe they're telling him or not telling him. And I'm not saying that Zio or T-Monk was sitting there not letting him in on the game plan, but maybe you got to micromanage it more because I do think that this is, a very just a delicate situation. And if the wind blows one way or the other, it could be a tipping point, and you might be looking on the outside, looking in and wishing you had done things differently.
Yeah. And again, it's like, is John Harbaugh stubborn enough to kind of go with what he wants to do, but it cost him his Ravens head coaching career, essentially? I mean, I think at some point, even if you're not happy with the way Ben Cleveland practices or whatever it may be, the reason you mentioned Q, he's in that proverbial doghouse. I mean, if he's the better player, you have to play the players to give you the best chance to win, regardless of how you feel. And again, like, did Marcus Peters show 100% effort at all times? No. I mean, during games, he was letting guys run past him and making business decisions. And, Peters was a good player for him for a while. But, it wasn't like he wasn't the hardest worker on the team. And while, again, it worked out a lot better than some people thought it would for Marcus Peters, John Harbaugh never benched Marcus Peters for, in that Saints game in prime time, letting Juwan Johnson run down the sideline on him for a touchdown. I mean, it's stuff like that where he knew Peters was his second best corner behind Marlon Humphrey. You're not going to bench your second best corner. Obviously, you can talk to him about it, but Ben Cleveland's your best option at right guard. Shouldn't bench your right guard because he doesn't show the level of effort. I mean, if he's going to help you win the game, go out there and let him help you win the game.
That's why I think he's in the doghouse in ways that we are not seeing, like that, because all of what you just said is true. And like, all right, cool. So it's the NFL, ultimate meritocracy. Okay. But why are we playing politics right now when it comes to who plays, who doesn't play, and why? And you need a win. Like, don't go down for the sake of going down. Like, make sure you got your best out there. And then if your best ain't good enough, then so be it.
Yeah, exactly. Go down with the best guys out there if that's.
So right there, the debate here that's happening, right, is, all right, well, first off, could this offensive line play be an issue that costs the Baltimore Ravens moving forward? Is there a certain thing or a conversation, right, Kevin, that you alluded to? Is Ben Cleveland your best option? Is he not? Is he in the doghouse? Is he not? All of it could be true, right? But I think the bigger part here is, for the Ravens, that has been the issue. You've had two really good defensive line play that from teams coming in. Kansas City had Chris Jones. Last week it was Wilkins and Crosby. You can't let what those guys did happen on Sunday with Micah Parsons. And even though there was some positives, the negative still, Kevin, is Lamar is not having maybe as much time as you would hope for. And especially if a team like that can make some big moments that can cost the game, that's where the issue is. And you don't want that one impact player to be the one that ruins it for Baltimore and sends them to 0-3.
Yeah, and it all starts up front for an offense, whether it is protecting Lamar, opening up rushing lanes, and whether it is Ben Cleveland or Patrick McCary or whoever you want to put at right guard. Daniel Falele has not shown enough through 2 weeks to continue to have this starting job. And it was quite the tone shift late in the week from John Harbaugh about kind of where they were as an offensive line. Early in the week, it was he was expressing confidence in his guys, confidence in his decisions. But, then you have on Friday where he's like, oh, actually, we're still a work in progress. It's an open competition. Probably see some different guys at different spots here and there. So what does that mean? We don't know. We're going to have to wait till game time to figure that out. But, I mean, it's actively losing them games. It's not the only reason they're losing games, but there have been multiple instances where if a play goes right here and a play goes right there, they could be 2-0, but that's every team. Every team could be 2-0 with a couple of plays going different ways. For the Ravens, it's up to them to make the right personnel decisions and put your best five out there.
And I think maybe that's the other part is you're trying to figure out who your best five are. And I will say also to start off, you need to be able to, in general, you want to be able to give your players the grace period. Whoever is your starters to start the season, you think that they deserve the chance to work through their growing pains. You feel better about that if you win the second game, though. But that is going to be the continued conversation. Look, I think the Ravens have shown, and this is the crazy thing, Kevin, like offensively wise, the Ravens are ranked first in yardage, if I'm not mistaken, going in through the first 2 weeks. The problem was big game-changing moments. Chris Jones had a fumble and sack recovery in sack force fumble in game 1. Max Crosby on 1st and 10 after the Ravens gave up the lead and the Raiders tied it. 1st and 10, Crosby gets a sack, 2nd and 19. Ravens are in the hole. That was the biggest defensive play of the game for Vegas. So that's where we allude to. But then on the other side for Baltimore, Harbaugh's been under a lot of fire for, I guess, game management, time management. And I think that some of it always isn't fair, but I like what I'm hearing, though, that he is still hands-on. Like, he is going to go down with this. But I'm an optimist, guys. I'm a half full. Gavin, you half full?
Most of the time, sometimes. Not all the time.
No. After every Orioles loss, I hear you.
100% of the time, 60% of the time.
Exactly.
60% of the time, it works every time.
Name that movie.
Kevin, you ever had Sex Panther?
I thought you.
Austin Powers.
No, come on, Kevin.
Rip, there was a little too much of a pause in between Sex and Panther.
There, you ever had Sex Panther? It's like you were calling him Panther. You ever had Sex Panther?
Kevin,
We're gonna start calling
I
Kevin
how to
just
do-
Panther.
Have you seen those videos of the guy doing the cat noise? I'm not going to do it because I can't do it, but I need to learn how to do that.
Are you talking about the guy in the aisle in the grocery store
Yep.
that's cat calling?
Yeah.
He's like, I'm going to cat call you.
No, dude. Like the one who does like the growl.
We're
What
on
videos are you
we're
watching?
My algorithm on Instagram. Let's not talk
Well,
about it. No one needs to know what that looks like right now.
It's tailored to you.
It's bad. It's bad.
He does do it in a
Christ.
grocery store.
Yeah.
That's where I thought you were going. No,
But yes, Kevin, have you had Sex Panther?
I have not seen that
You
movie.
had Sex Panther.
I have not seen that movie.
You still don't know what movie it is.
I'm going Pink Panther. Final
baby,
answer.
gonna
No.
hold her tight, gonna grab some afternoon delight. My motto's always been when it's right while waiting till the middle of a cold, dark night. When
It's magical.
I was waiting for.
Keep going.
Keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
when everything's a little clearer in the light of day. And you know the night is always going to be there anyway.
Come on.
Afternoon delight.
Get
No,
in.
you gotta hit the high part.
I can't hit the high part.
So that's why I was like, woo. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Kevin,
My
Kevin,
voice.
Kevin, go watch Anchorman,
It's
the first
Anchorman.
one.
See, there's the problem. It wasn't the second one.
Second one's hilarious.
Wait,
too,
you've
but
seen the first one
is
and not the
classic.
second one?
I've
No,
seen
he's-
the-
no,
Or the
no,
second
it's
one and
even
not the
weirder.
first.
He's
second
seen
one,
the
but not
first,
the
second, and
one.
not the first.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
Would you expect anything less from Kevin, though?
No.
Honestly.
Afternoon delight.
Afternoon.
Skyrockets in flight.
But yeah, 60% of the time, Kevin
Beautiful.
is negative all the time. But in general, for Baltimore, it is a talking point, and it's going to continue to be a talking point until, quite frankly, the best defensive players don't continue to wreck the game. I know you got to move around them, but the reason why we mention it, down the road here, the Ravens got to face T.J. Watt and the Steelers. They got to face Trey Hendrickson, who had a game against the Chiefs, by the way. Like, the Bengals are tough. Cleveland Browns have a very tough defensive line and presence. Obviously, Myles Garrett's a little bit banged up, but he's a guy you got to account for at all times. And then Buffalo brings a lot of pressure. Von Miller looks like he's starting to get his mojo back, and they looked great against the Dolphins. Well, however you want to think about the Dolphins, but that's the point, right? This is going to be a continued theme here for Baltimore. Now, on the other side, though, offensively, on offense, for the Cowboys, it's one guy. One player, right? Jake Ferguson's out. It's CeeDee Lamb, right? Are we all in agreement with that? CeeDee is the one guy. You have Brandon Cooks, you had Jalen Tolbert, but CeeDee can't beat you. Devontae beat the Ravens last week, and then Brock Bowers did.
Yeah.
You guys feel good about this matchup, that the Ravens can be able to fix it? I know that Marlon took a lot of heat, even though statistically Marlon against Devontae was pretty solid. It was Brandon Stevens for the most part that was having trouble.
Yeah.
Anything? Or are you guys just so locked into the games?
I don't have the stats in front of me, but
Did I hear you say Jake Ferguson was out today?
no, Jake Ferguson's playing. He's on the injury.
No,
report.
I'm sorry. I thought he got hurt in week
Yeah,
one,
okay.
and then was out in week two. My bad. Yeah,
No,
so,
you're good. You're good. I wanted to.
So Jake Ferguson, though, in general. So if we're gonna go back to this combination, if CeeDee Lamb has a big game, no
Yes.
one else can have a big game. But you still can't let CeeDee Lamb run wild.
No.
And he is the number one priority. And quite frankly, the Cowboys aren't going to run the football against Baltimore. So that is going to be the biggest part here. And actually, there was another part, and I have the video here with Kevin. You guys talked about Kyle Hamilton because that's the guy that's kind of been banged up a little bit here for Baltimore throughout the start here. Yeah. So I want to play that video next here. I'm going to throw that in. I forgot to add that. But Kyle Hamilton is that Swiss Army knife that can be able to prevent and hold down everything else. And Lord knows we don't want him on CeeDee Lamb. No, I triple team CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah.
Make someone else beat you. But I feel like this is a game Dallas and Dak's going to have to throw 40 times, Rock.
I would agree with you. And a guy that's going to really need to step up this week is Marlon Humphrey. I mean, I don't know if I don't know what's going to happen with Marlon today, but this is going to be another big test for him. Mm-hmm. So as the veteran, as the guy that is supposed to be cornerback one on this defense, step up and make a statement. Show this fan base and show your teammates what you're all about. You know, it's like, Marlon, just go out, do your thing, and have your best game possible, and show everyone that you're still here. That's all I can say. Yeah, make a statement.
Yeah, but I thought also last week to defend Marlon on it, and he got roasted.
Yep.
Roasted. Trip, he went after him. That video went viral, and about saying he's got to focus less on his podcast. Hey, players on their off day, they can do what they want. But the bigger thing for Marlon is aging, becoming older. He's a veteran on the team. People are going to look for him. And quite frankly, he still is that guy. Brandon Stevens has been great, but the hope is that both of them are going to have that mark. But let's talk about Kyle Hamilton here in this video. You and Q talked about it, but Kevin, it's around the conversation that Kyle Hamilton, the biggest thing for him is staying healthy and being locked in. And right now, obviously, he's been banged up. So we're going to play that clip to start, okay?
Yeah.
Hamilton's been banged up really ever since training camp started. I mean, he's dealt with a couple of injuries and things. Obviously, didn't practice on Wednesday with a back injury, but was back. He's back at practice, and, you know, he's going to suit up, you know, unless something crazy happens. But is there any concern with you about lingering things with these types of injuries? He's dealt with a couple of them over the course of the past couple of weeks in a bunch of different areas. You know, it's like every part of his body, it feels like, is getting banged up at this point. Are you concerned about, you know, any season-long effects where, you know, it might be something that he deals with until he's able to heal up in the offseason? Or do you think that over the course of the year it will get better?
Yeah, no, I think it is a concern because typically when you walk out of training camp, you're never 100%. I don't care who you are, unless you just had, you know, camp cream puff. And there have been over the years camp cream puffs. And sometimes they're so veteran filled that they have these amazing seasons because they were fresh-legged. Bill Walsh was not notorious, I guess, praised and applauded. Marv Levy was praised and applauded for having the camp cream puff type camps. I mean, talented individuals, don't get me wrong, but they made sure that, man, it's all about the season. It's all about getting through the season, and it's about them playoffs and making a Super Bowl run. With that said, as early as the Rams' latest Super Bowl victory, the Rams had, you know, pretty much an easy training camp all the way through the season and rarely practiced in pads. What am I trying to say? For Kyle Hamilton, he needs to be in a situation where you just treat him like kid gloves. Let him lock in mentally in the meetings. Do what you got to do through some walkthroughs. But game day is where he needs to be, not sitting there worrying about, you know, what is he going to be looking like in practice.
Yeah, and I think for him.
So right there, the reason why we bring it up, because who have we said is that X factor on the Baltimore Ravens defense in general? It's Kyle Hamilton, right?
Yep.
And I know it was a team assignment last week, but Brock Bowers dismantled the Ravens secondary, whoever was in the vicinity, Brock Bowers, and he might be
dog. Certified dog.
He's a certified dog and certified Georgia Bulldog. Shout out Nick Moore with that. Shout out the dogs there. But in general, right, like when we're saying you can't have more than one weapon beat you if you're Baltimore, Jake Ferguson is a very solid tight end. If he's back, he's not the Brock Bowers-esque as far as where we think the ceiling can be. But Kyle Hamilton is able to neutralize quite a bit, Kev. And I think that's the part where you could see last week, it seemed like he was favoring his shoulder at times. Wasn't there a video of that out there with almost when he was going for a tackle? It was kind of so big focus there for Baltimore. Is there any other thing specifically you're seeing with Kyle Hamilton?
It's been a slower start from Kyle Hamilton. What are we laughing at?
The fact
keep talking. Keep talking. We're just continue.
Okay. It's been a slower start for Kyle Hamilton. And part of it's just him not being, fully 100%, I feel like, where by Kyle Hamilton's standards, we haven't really seen that game impact. And you're right. I'm not putting him in the slot against CD. I want him to roam around, do his thing. You can have Marlon follow him in there, whatever you want with him. But you're at least hoping that over the course of the year, these things can get a little better and they're not as nagging. Kyle Hamilton said that it's been annoying and frustrating kind of dealing with those injuries. So, yeah, I mean, they need him to be at his best. Nobody's 100%, in the NFL. Everybody has some level of stuff that goes on with it. But, yeah, there you go.
There it is. So Kyle Hamilton, we'll see what happens there. It should be a fun, interesting perspective for the Baltimore. What the hell are you doing?
Philly Fanatics naked because of Kevin.
No, it's not. It's because
this is so disrespectful.
That's not because of Kevin.
It's not because of Kevin.
Oh, I thought it was because of Kevin.
This is crazy.
There's a certain pup that got a hold of
Studio pup.
That's why I was holding, because it was on the ground and he was.
Well, we were so confused. You got on and you were like,
you took it from him, and I thought he literally undressed the Philly Fanatic. No, and I was that's why I was shaking my head the whole time.
No,
because
he just didn't know what to do with
disrespect.
It.
No,
he thought about it. He definitely thought about it. But in general, you guys are good kids, and Ollie was still voted best studio pup in 2024.
Well, not going to happen in 2025 now.
Oh, he will, especially. He does well, and you would know that, Rock. You would know that if you were paying attention to my dog. There's a reason why I keep him away from you. But to finish the point, hey, Will, you did say about Kyle Hamilton's as more effective being as he can rove and doesn't have to be a high safety. I would agree, and I think that's why also that they have the safeties that they have, right? They're different positions. Kyle Hamilton's not afraid to get down in there at the line of scrimmage, make a play, guard the tight end, do what you kind of need him to do, and then have Eddie Jackson or Marcus Williams, one of the other guys over top, right? Those are guys you consider quote-unquote ball hawks. Is that fair to say? So just the context point there, but in general, Baltimore is going to have their hands full trying to make sure that they can stay on top. Roquan Smith still had a solid year so far. One thing that has been shown at times was the coverage in the middle part of the field, and maybe that if Kyle Hamilton's a little bit banged up, got to be surveying that, because that's actually, if we think about it, the Raiders got back in the game a lot, and a big reason was Brock Bowers in the middle of the field, and then it was Devontae Adams against Brandon Stevens. But can't be both for this Cowboys team. And right now, last time I checked, the Cowboys going into today's game was 25th. I think Baltimore was in the top 3 in rush defense. I think they were number 1, if I wasn't mistaken, for the Ravens going into this game. So just want to throw out the context clues there. I'm sweating. And also little updates for our scoreboard watchers. Chargers and Jim Harbaugh. By the way, the Chris Long clip of him saying, or Joey Bosa saying that Harbaugh does cold plunges.
Oh, fully
clothed, full khakis,
belt and everything.
I should have done them as the dog of the week. They're going to Pittsburgh and win this damn game.
Can we get a cold?
They weren't the dog of the week.
They were dogs.
Were they really?
Weren't, yeah, Chargers were dogs going into Pittsburgh.
Oh, wow. All right.
And Quentin Johnson just on the board. Maybe.
Poor Will Levis.
Maybe he is. And then on top of it right now, Vikings up 14-0.
Yeah.
Stop traffic. Denver Broncos up 14-0 after a Baker Mayfield interception.
Mm-hmm.
But Sam Darnold's got 2 tutties. Aaron Jones is the recipient of the next Sam Darnold touchdown. And then the pack attack are for real. Malik Willis, if you start him in fantasy, you're feeling good. Yeah. 4 carries, 62 yards, a tutty. The last touchdown, if I'm not mistaken, though,
Jair Alexander just picked
was
off.
A pick 6.
Yeah,
Will Levis adds to his highlight reel of unfortunate situations.
It's a statement game, Rep. It is a statement game
Ryan,
for Malik Willis.
This is good for...
After the quote he gave last week just about the Titans and about his time there, I'm a fan of that guy. I mean, he said everything right, did everything the right way. So for him to go in and win this game, if it happens, you bet your ass he's getting the game ball from his teammates and head coach Matt LaFleur.
Oh, hell
as
yeah.
he should.
And the Packers, though, too, man. Like, you lose Jordan Love, who looks like he'll be back soon, like sooner than expected.
Yep.
They win the game, get to 2-1 in the situation, and you get your franchise quarterback back. They were my pick to go to the Super Bowl from the NFC this year. Just saying, a lot of teams are banged up right now. A ton.
Yeah.
A ton. I don't like it. I don't like
This
it.
is good for the Titans, though. At least you've found out pretty quickly you don't have a franchise quarterback.
You're pulling the plug already on Will.
Yeah, I think Levis I really like his surrounding weapons. I think just the talent around him on that team. They were a dark horse of mine. I said if Will Levis takes a step into the top 15 for quarterbacks, that team had sneaky playoff potential to get that last wild card. And Will Levis has, like you mentioned, have put together an incredible highlight reel of what not to do at the quarterback position. And it's just, even today, missing open receivers. D-Hop is frustrated as could be right now. It just, get a quarterback this time around. That's the worst thing that could have happened is they go like 8-9 and you have to sit there and make the awkward decision in the offseason of like, do we have a quarterback? Do we not? Unless Will Levis puts it together in the second half, kind of like we saw with Jordan Love last year, I think the Titans are going to be looking for a quarterback.
Did they give up on Malik Willis too quickly?
The people
Is that
are
what you're
asking.
saying?
The people are asking.
People are asking. Do the people have answers?
But also, to be fair, it's the system that you're in and what's happening. I don't know if Malik Willis would have really thrived being in Tennessee.
No,
they're a mess.
No.
They were a mess. I mean, to get rid of AJ Brown and to get rid of Derrick Henry and to just have all your star players, it was like they were a team that people looked at. They're like, okay, we have weapons. Ryan Tannehill was playing decent football.
No,
and that he
Yeah,
at the time he was.
Who would
Brad,
you rather
come
have,
on.
Ryan Tannehill or Will Levis?
I mean,
take your pick.
Will Levis
I mean,
at this
now,
point,
yes. But I'm saying when Ryan Tannehill, Brad was like, no. But
No,
when-
well,
when he
no,
had-
Zach and I had this conversation last year
yeah.
about why having Ryan Tannehill throw the ball was not a good idea. I mean, there's a reason why Will Levis was replaced by him. Just saying.
yes, but I'm talking about when they still had AJ.
Well, that was 2 years ago.
It's 3.
Yeah, whatever. Still a long time ago.
Yeah, I mean, nice, thanks.
They had a good system in place, and every team also, you're trying to find it out. And when you're in a system, then going to Brian Callahan, he's extremely frustrated. He's not sold on Will Levis. He didn't draft Will Levis, right? So this is him trying to figure it out. And there's a lot of frustrations, and especially they feel like that they should have won or could have won their first 2 games, specifically the first one against the Bears, where the Bears didn't score an offensive touchdown, still lost that game. But you know who's also a little bit frustrated, guys, on the Baltimore Ravens? Any guess? Maybe it's, hoping for a better start. He's hoping. People are high on him. Q's high on him, Kevin.
Yep.
Rashad Bateman.
Rashad Bateman. Thank you, guys. Welcome back into the show. Rashad Bateman, right, is a guy that when you look at his numbers, there's a graph out there. And I was trying to pull it back up, right? That when you look at it, because when people think, oh, Rashad's just not getting open, he must not be doing enough. Well, actually, Rashad's getting open, Kev. Rashad's actually getting open more than people understand. And I'm trying to go back. Here's this graph. I'm going to pull it up and share my screen here. You guys ready for it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Sharing the screen. Here we go. Hum now. I'm going to zoom it. Can you guys see this? Everyone can see that?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So we were looking at percentage on horizontally versus vertically breaking routes. Some of the names that you see that are in the vicinity of Bateman in this case. Nico Collins is the highest when it comes to that. Keenan Allen, Mike Evans, Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs, Devontae Adams. Oh, Rashad Bateman. Interesting, right?
Can people in the chat see exactly where he is on the graph? Just want to make sure everyone can see. Yep, there we go. Okay, because they might be confused. They might be like, oh, we're looking at the wrong spot. Rashad Bateman's probably further down, but there he is right there, right?
So I'm just saying, and there's some photos out there in general, and I'll stop sharing. Clearly, if Lamar had a little bit more time, that Bateman opens up, but there's also just a disconnect between Rashad and Lamar Jackson. It's the chemistry isn't there. So, and actually, Kev, you and Q kind of talked about this situation here. So I'm going to play that clip. Brad, I'll do it to make sure it's at the right point.
Yeah.
But Q is really talking about that connection that's missing with Lamar and Rashad. So let's play it for you.
You got to know that guy's personality. Like, you want him involved in a game early. So if you get him going early, then when it's time for making critical plays and catches, he's on point. He's feeling it. I don't think at this point, they're going to feature Rashad Bateman, but I think it would be in their best interest as an ex receiver. Just, my God, man, if the coverage is rolled the other way, just get him the football. There's nothing fancy about it. Just get it to him and then allow the game to kind of progress. I think if that's going to happen, then the benefit of it is as you go on in the game, you won't have, that it's such a feel with your hands and the way in which, you're seeing the ball and catching it in traffic and stuff. And that's where I thought, for him, heck, I mean, if you got to, talk to Lamar in a certain way or Monk in a certain way or however you got to do it, but, he has to take some ownership on it himself too. But yeah, I just see on video, like, man, look at him. He's open. Man, look at him. He's open. Oh, he didn't get it. Oh, yeah, man. And so again, that goes back to the offensive line too. And, being more, giving Lamar time, getting better rhythm. If you are, opening up holes for the run game, my God, man, that allows for more one-on-one coverage, all those things too. So, it's a collective for sure. But I think, I would love to see at least 3 plays where it's the Bateman package and just like you got a Flowers package. And we clearly see that Flowers package on display with the quick game and such.
So what we're hearing right there, Q's a big Rashad Bateman believer. I am too. And I think that it's about giving a game plan to get him the ball. We know why we want Zay to get the ball.
Here's
right?
what I'll say to that. I think that it kind of comes down to trust.
It's 1,000% down to trust.
Lamar and Rashad. I mean, and look, it's not going to get any better when there's balls being thrown straight into your chest and then you don't catch the ball. So that's also a big problem as well.
Well, and that one too, I would argue with that one, that the interception, it's a ball that he needs to have. It's a tough play, but it's one that you probably need to try to make. But in general, too, the other part of it, Rashad had a huge catch against the Chiefs on that that last drive. It's just about the opportunity. And I think that's the bigger part with Rashad. And look, when Rashad was the one guy for that 4 or 5 game stretch where you're like, man, and if you draft him in fantasy for those 4 weeks, I'll tell you what, back a couple of years ago, that 75-yard touchdown, beating Xavier Howard, that bomb in the first game against the Jets on the deep ball.
Yep.
I don't feel like we're even seeing those. I don't think we're even seeing the deep shots.
Rip, I was just about to bring that up. Those 2 weeks where Rashad Bateman was leading the team in receiving for the first 2 weeks of the 2022 season, and you thought, okay, like this is promising. And then he gets hurt. And then he, banged up and then really hurt. And then it's like, this sucks. Rashad Bateman, since I think it's week 2 and 3 in 2022, just bringing up the stats, has not had back-to-back games of 40-plus receiving yards since weeks 1, 2, and 3. So that was 3 straight, but I'm saying 2 and 3. It was the Dolphins game in the week after that, I think against the Patriots. That's when he did it. Like, the guy is capable. He is. He has the talent, and there's a reason why the Ravens were like, you know what? We're going to take a chance on Rashad Bateman instead of letting him walk or trying to trade him. There was speculation. And I remember getting on with Kevin, Locked on Ravens, and we were talking about that. What are the Ravens going to do with Rashad Bateman? They kept him here for a reason. But they need him to show up and show out. And I think this is the game that we're going to see Rashad Bateman find the end zone for the first time in 2024.
Oh, Do we now, huh?
Yeah. Oh, I wonder. Hold on.
Hey, now. Hey, that'd be great. Obviously, it would be tremendous. You just want to see more options evolve. You want to see Mark Andrews get going. I want to see Mark and Isaiah both in the same game just dominate. I know this is the wish list for me, right? Both those guys be used and dominate in moments. We've seen what Zay's done already. All good. Let's see Bateman get in there. Then I feel like you have the more weapons. It's going to be so much harder to defend. And Baltimore's already hard to defend when you think about they got Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson in the backfield. Offensive line issues aside, like it's an offense that can be humming if done appropriately. And you know what, guys? I was going to say I was going to wait till 2, but I might screw it. You know what? I'm feeling a little bit stressed watching some of these games. You know, Zach's over there. It's the quietest I've ever heard Zach, Brad.
I know.
I'm getting my ass kicked in every
This is
fantasy
like-
matchup.
This is exactly why.
horrendous.
This is why we don't put it up on the big board because
We got it.
Yeah, we all have it.
These two guys, like Kevin stole the Monstars energy. I mean, or the star players energy. Like he's been so energetic.
so that's why when I was trying
Zach's
to
been
bounce
quiet,
it to a question for you guys,
I know.
I can't get an answer
I'm
out
like
of you.
rethinking this whole let's do this game while football games are on.
Yeah, we should have started
might have-
at 9
Yeah.
I've been answering questions.
because
I'm
Zach
locked in. I'm ready. I've been.
He
I'm
has
not
he's-
locked in.
Yeah, not
There it
locked
is.
in.
My focus
Zach,
is
yeah.
very elsewhere.
I've been good. I've been staring at you. I've been staring at you.
Might just throw
I
the
was
laptop.
I
in the
was the one that
I
got
was-
the Rashad
I was-
one, so that's on YouTube.
Well, I was pissed off at the fanatic being naked. I'm aware of my surroundings, Rip.
Hey, you know what?
I came here-
I appreciate that. I know it might throw you guys off from your schedule of watching while we're trying to do a stream. But can one of you guys go get the ice so I can make one of these puppy of the deep Eddy crushes?
Yeah, I'll
Go ahead, Zach. We're going to talk about you while you're
I
gone.
wonder why Zach's
You
the
don't
one
even
that's
wanna talk
doing
about
it
yourself.
while he's looking at his phone.
Oh, man.
Right.
Yeah, he'll be back in about an hour.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, see you tomorrow, Zach.
Hey, you know what then? Is this a time? Do we
Brad's
just
so pissed off right now, and I
do
love
we
it.
Just to see
Oh.
how irritated I've been in a while.
I know,
Hey, I'm
I
with
know,
hey,
dude.
we're with each other on that.
Listen, I had to live with this guy for like a week and a half, so I know his tendencies now. It's
Yeah.
like I know him, he knows me,
Yeah,
probably
he knows
more
your
than we should.
weird pizza tendencies.
Yeah, thanks, Kevin.
Well, how about this then? As we're getting ready for our crushes, this is what we wanted to get back to doing was talking about who is crushing it. Brought to you by Deep Eddy. Obviously, we're about to make some Deep Eddy crushes. But did anyone watch the games last night?
Oh, you know we were watching those games.
Yeah.
Great
I was-
game.
Oh,
like,
Great game.
I have I blew up Rip's like phone log with FaceTimes when Colorado was on. Not only because
Ooh.
I was a little financially invested in it, but you know, you got the connection with Colorado. So I was fired up, pumped for the Buffs. Right now, say this about Colorado. They might not be the greatest show on turf, but you know damn well they're one of the most entertaining, if not the most entertaining show on turf in college football. Like it's fun to watch. They're games you never know what you're going to get. And last night was the epitome of that.
well,
It was
you know
incredible.
what? Before you give it all away here, and it was wild. We were going back and
I
forth.
know, I'm sorry.
But why don't we get into about who has crushed it this week? And there's 2 plays we want you to show. So, Rock, why don't you take it away?
All right, I got to take these headphones out. Where am I? Am I just gonna do it right here,
You
Brad?
got to do it right here. Yeah.
Do it right here. All right, we're gonna start. And you know what? People at home watching, you might call me a homer. My parents might do the same. But the Temple Owls, when they're on, I've suffered through Temple football the last 5 or so seasons. They haven't been fantastic since Matt Rule was the head coach. Notre Dame came in college game day on one Halloween night, and that was the craziest Temple has been in a while. So it hasn't been great. Not a lot of people in the stands, but I'm telling you what, the celebration you're going to see right here, it's like Temple won the national championship. This was the Temple Owls national championship, and it fired me up. Talk about a guy that crushed it. Look no further than Temple kicker, Maddox Trio. Okay?
Boom, baby.
Listen to this. 64 yards. It says 63. They're wrong. He's right. Off the crossbar. It's good. And look at that, Rip. Okay, you put your hands up. The celebration ensues. That is not only the longest field goal in Temple football history. That is the longest field goal in Lincoln Financial Field history.
Damn.
Move over, Jake Elliott. Maddox Trio. Celebration's great. And for that, crushed it.
Crushed it.
That's what we're talking about. Crush the
it.
oranges, Rip. You got them ready?
Yeah, we're
Or no?
getting there. Oh,
All
we're
right,
getting
we're
there.
getting there. You're not
We'll get it
ready.
right. Well, I was waiting for the next thing now. Home now.
Okay.
I'll tell you what, though. Think about that. And that's not even the longest kick in NCAA history.
No.
The longest one's like 70 yards in what year, Rock?
I think it was 69 yards.
Nice.
And I believe it was like 1974 or 1975. Correct me if I'm wrong, people. Fact check me at home. Abilene Christian, their kicker, has the longest record. But in the NFL, we all know what the record is there. Okay.
You're darn right.
2 yards off. 2 yards off. That was a boot. And again, there's bias there, but this kid deserves all the love for that kick. It was incredible,
are you kidding me? In this economy, dude, college kicking, as we saw, and actually we'll get to the next play in a second. Baylor had a chance to lock up the game last night.
Yeah.
You kick a field goal right there, like a 40-yarder. Hey, we're not even talking about the fiasco that went down there out in Boulder, which was absolutely banana town, by the way. But to hit a 60-some, yeah, there it is. And that'll be good for the next segment here as we're getting ready. Let me get this.
We're so ready for the next segment, Rip.
Oh my goodness. I think people know where we're going with this, Brad.
Yeah.
I think people are knowing.
Get that giveaway.
Know where we're going with this.
Oh, yeah. So, guys, ladies and gentlemen, last night for our last play of the night, if you weren't watching the Colorado Baylor game, you missed out. You missed out.
It was incredible.
And if you put a little money on the game, then you were sweating it out, to say the least. But the Buffs, biggest moment, plays within plays. Rock, let's walk us through it.
You talk about this. What have you done for me lately, Colorado? Okay. This is what they've done for you lately. The fan base, college football fans in general, Shedeur Sanders. Okay. Final drive of the game, 10 seconds to go. Lets one fly. The receiver, he drops it at about the 1 yard line. But this play is what came after that. 1 second left on the clock. Sanders, he rolls left. He fires to the end zone. Do you believe in miracles? Because Colorado absolutely does. And if you saw the broadcast view in this video and the sound was on, radio silence when that ball was going through the air. Was not radio silence when LeJontay Wester came down with it. Colorado would go on to tie the game on a field goal or on an extra point right there, okay? Send it to overtime, and right there, the Buffs, none other than Travis Hunter, forced a fumble out of the end zone. Colorado goes on to win. Big time for the Buffs. I mean, that is incredible right there. And for that, Shedeur Sanders, LeJontay Wester, and the Buffs, Rip, what did they do?
Crushed it.
There
it is. Oh,
Exactly.
And it's fresh juice for the crush as well.
That was huge.
Let's go. You know what? This is what happened last night, okay? And I'm feeling better maybe because I'm going to get a drink in me and just start to really get excited for this 425. But last night, if you are a fan of college football, you just saw a missed field goal that would have won the game. Then a missed opportunity. You're like, oh my goodness, shirts and pants. Colorado could have won it, drop ball.
Insane.
And then Shedeur rolls out left. Then it's one-on-one coverage where then the safety's trying to go over, makes the catch. Oh, and then by the way, Baylor's about to score, and Travis Hunter forces a fumble at the 6-inch line.
It doesn't get any closer than that.
No.
I mean, we were sitting there waiting and just pins and needles. What's the call going to be? And what was crazier, Colorado fans didn't care what the call was going to be. That call could have went in Baylor's favor. They were already on the field. They were ready. Field goal post was down. They were rolling in.
Yeah, everyone remembers talking about the band is on the field. The student section was on the field, and the play wasn't even in review yet.
And again, the best
and
part.
there's someone had a hat like that on,
Someone had a hat like this on, and it was incredible. The best part, though, was I think it was years to the exact week of that Cordell Stewart Hail Mary to beat Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible. They showed it on the broadcast the play before. Shedeur Sanders etches his own name in Colorado history. You can't beat it, man. How can you not be romantic about college football?
You can't be, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You can't be. And you know what? I was just, I love it, man. I love the good moments. I also just realized that I'm going against Quinn Johnson. So even though that helps the Steelers or the Ravens fans with Steelers losing, or actually they tied it up, Justin Fields scored. But in general here,
no,
guys,
then the Chargers just took the lead again.
Yes! Oh, we're getting back to crushing it. You know,
and Orioles are down 2-0.
Oh,
because the Tigers are crushing. Home run by Torkelson and then two doubles give the Tigers a 2-0 lead.
Good.
Orioles got to bounce back into something that they do so few times, which is come back when they're down.
Hey, Zach, great for you to talk now. This is great.
I like it better when you weren't talking. So,
Yeah, I liked it
let's
better
turn
when
the
this
volume
team
down a
won
little.
baseball
I know,
games.
I
But
think
here we
all
are
did.
with this just
I think we
Brad,
all
would
did.
you like
It's
something?
rough.
just
Would I like
bad
something?
ball
Would I like
for
a
2.5
beverage?
Yes.
months.
Yeah, please give me all the alcohol.
Would you like what type of crust? Would you like some fresh orange juice squeezed here, or would you like a?
You know, I actually had the lemon vodka with the blueberry syrup last night,
Yeah,
and it was
delightful.
oh my god, could get you in trouble. I will just you know what? Let's just go with the orange crush again.
We're getting orange. We're getting frisky in
Yeah,
here.
yeah, let's do it.
And if you guys new to the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. We do a little pregame show right now because we're just trying to have a little fun, right? It's a long time. We're going to get more into things as we get closer to the start of the game for the Ravens and the Cowboys, but it's tailgate times. And usually that means we like to have a lot of fun with this. And actually our other sponsor, Gridiron Golf, which we'll get into in a little bit, but maybe we play the clip about Gridiron Golf having some fun here. And we'll play our own games, but we had some Orioles since we just talked about the Orioles. Hey, guys, we had a couple guys visit the studio.
Yeah.
Here a couple weeks ago.
Sure did.
Good
That was
kid.
last week.
Might have watched some football with him.
Yep,
that
and
day.
one of them we're still kind of friends.
Yeah,
after
kind
that
of.
game. Kind of.
Yeah.
But why don't you see what happened with Gridiron Golf with our friends and good kids and I guess friends of the program?
They are now.
John Means
Gotta
and
be.
Tyler Wells. Let's play that Gridiron
Fade
Golf.
of
Someone's hands by trying to putt.
Sure. Yeah, do it.
So it's Gridiron Golf here. So for here, we're gonna hit the sky cam.
Yeah.
So it's on you.
kind of moving up. Wells knows how good I am at golf.
So we got this.
The
We got
biggest
the Gridiron
adrenaline rush
Golf.
of the year right here.
So hold on, Zach. No, you're good. You can go, Zach. Can you help him just line up the balls, and I'll explain a little bit to it. So what Gridiron Golf is doing when we run this, they're doing giveaways for the football season. So John, we're just going to pretend all's good. Where everyone's hoping in this room for a 20-point win for the Baltimore Ravens, especially John. But how this works, John, before you shoot, if you make it on the first one.
Do I have to go for the touchdown?
Oh, if you make you get 4 downs. Gridiron Golf taking it to the gridiron here. You have 4 putts, 4 downs. If you make a touchdown on first down, Gridiron Golf's going to give away a game to one of our subscribers, just like that. So your choice. It's in your hands. We got it set up, Brad?
Yep.
Man, how is he under pressure? Oh, it's JD Martinez all over again. Still in line for people to win if you can get a score.
To win the green jacket.
Come on, Happy.
There it is.
Oh, hey now. You know, we might with Gridiron Golf, we might be able to still do a giveaway. Do you want to try it there?
I'll give it a shot. I'll use his last 2 rounds.
No, you get another chance. It's because it's double or nothing here for our viewers here. We got a lot of giveaways with Gridiron Golf coming up this football season. Just want to make this is a part of the rehab.
Did somebody win something there?
Oh yeah,
Oh, sweet.
John means people helping people. No way. Oh my goodness! Wow. So
I had a putter drop, not a mic drop.
we got 2 winners now to start off that, Brad. How about that?
I love that.
That's unbelievable.
It happened before?
No putters.
Probably not. Probably not. Well, hey, we appreciate you guys coming in. Yeah, I like how just Tyler Wells just comes right off.
Just putter drop.
What upset me about that clip is that Wells didn't hit the dog ear celebration when that went in, because that would have been epic. Just hit him with the,
Oh, we
Little
talked about
callback.
his dog, but
Yeah.
for those seeing and Holy Shirts and Pants members, you have that video out already. It will go out to the public about that whole situation. And John Means and Tyler Wells, Brad? We had a lot of great stories about baseball getting called up, the minor league grind, what they're dealing with trying to get back from their injuries, and also what this team's got to deal with, right? There's a lot of situations for Baltimore right now. As we know, injuries are a part of the game. Adversity is a part of a lot of the game. I don't think a lot of people like that specifically. You know, they want to hear you just get negative and be mad, but it's like, hey, you got 2 options. You either feel bad for yourself or you go back to work. And these guys, it's been multiple arm injuries for them. So I'm happy for them. Hey, Rock or somebody want to be a doll and bring this to
I got you. Who gets them?
Brad needs one.
Yeah.
Brad absolutely needs one.
Might just give him both.
Yeah. I don't think there's a person that needs a drink more than Brad right now. And then,
Here,
I
you
appreciate
you
you.
can have this one.
Shout out to our proud sponsors, Deep Eddy.
Shout out,
Deep Eddy.
Betty.
Shout out since that's the only sponsor we've really shouted out today, other than Gridiron Golf.
Well, we were going to wait to get as we get more updates on Maryland because the other part here.
Crazy. That was crazy to watch. No, keep it. He just gave it.
By the way, you can really tell how short Rocco is on this view.
Do the thing right.
No, you're.
Oh, that was the corniest fucking shit I've ever seen.
Jesus Christ, Rocco.
Is it a Will Ferrell movie?
No, you're supposed to.
When he does like that, when he does like the
yeah,
fake handshake.
Yeah,
like,
the execution
he's
was
like,
just god
take it.
awful.
He's like, no. You know what it is? It's the league. It's the league. Have you
Yeah.
guys ever seen the league?
Yeah, of course.
It's when they're dealing with
Taco.
the drug dealer. And then he's like,
What's his name?
it's Kevin. Kevin's dealing with the
Kevin's a drug
and he's
dealer?
like,
No, but
he's like, don't do the handshake, and he's like, just take it. Just take.
What's his name? The crazy dude. Who am I thinking?
No, it's not Rafi.
Rafi. I wouldn't say Rafi.
Rafi gets them the drugs.
Yeah.
And then they end up like, it was like, do you want a CD or do you want like a DVD or something
Yeah.
like that, or a DVD or a VCR? But that's a show that obviously has been dated. I don't know if you guys watched it back in the day when it was live,
Incredible.
Brad. It's like
Yeah.
40 years ago for you, but you know, it is what it is.
Hey,
But
Damn.
great
the
show.
cameos
I've
in
been
that would
roasting
be
Brad's age
incredible.
all week. And
I
I'm
don't
surprised he
understand
hasn't killed me
why.
yet.
Like
Huh?
Rocco, you're not that much younger than me.
I'm a little young. I probably act, a
Yeah,
lot
you
more-
act like you're 12, but you are
That's
still over 30 now.
They do get hobbits confused in age. So
Yeah,
that's probably
yeah.
why.
Probably.
Like we don't know how old Kevin is. Kevin might be 212.
That is.
Yeah, he looks
you
like
got
he's-
it right on the. Right
If
on the
you told
nose.
me Kevin was a hobbit who was like 300 years old, I wouldn't like really question it. I'd be like,
Wow.
checks out.
Wow.
Kevin, you
Thank
give off
you.
those vibes.
What? How do you give off vibes like that?
Like if someone told me you were actually 200 years old, but you like that some sort of spell or something was cast on
I feel
you,
like
I'd be like,
Makes
probably,
sense.
yeah.
I feel like Kevin was like born in the wrong era for sure.
He should have been a Victorian.
You're
boy.
definitely an old man at heart.
Victorian.
What?
So,
Why?
I don't
hold on,
know.
what?
Why?
There's a lot of thoughts that I'm having here. in
This show,
general.
man, I swear to God.
Yeah. Well, we got 2.5 people over there on the table right now.
I wouldn't
Really,
even go
it's
that
really
far.
like 2 people.
It might be 1.5.
Yeah, it's
'Cause
probably like a half.
You
Because
put-
Kevin's height.
That's what Kevin and Rocco together make one man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's like
Hey,
one.
And then Zach's just not here.
Yeah, I
Which
just-
neither is
this-
my fantasy
No,
team.
my favorite part of the show. Can someone be a doll and go get ice? Zach leaves to get the ice, and I say,
no, I
why
got
is-
the
why is Zach
cups.
going?
Well, I
And
said, could you get the stuff?
Zach comes back with the cups, and Ryan
No
goes,
ice.
Cheers, Brad.
ice. Get the ice.
Oh, goodness gracious. You guys are good kids here. Hey, you know what? While we wait and we get a little bit of an update on our Maryland activity, why don't we take a ride around Maryland on our Adams Jeep of
Control
Maryland?
your alcohol.
This is strong. I don't
It
know
is.
if-
It is
I don't know
strong.
if
It
I
is
could-
strong.
I'm
I
not-
don't hate it,
I
but
know
it's
if I
definitely.
be driving.
Rip, I
the
can't. After
Adams
that
Jeep.
sip, I cannot get behind the wheel. So, I'm gonna let you guys drive the Adams Jeep. I don't think that would be responsible on
I'm
me.
glad you trust me.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Way to not drink.
I'm riding
and
with Zach.
Yeah. Drink
drive. I don't know if
responsibly.
that's the.
Drink
I
responsibly.
already had some in my juice.
But for Adams Jeep of Maryland, in all seriousness, they are the proud sponsor of the Ryan Ripken Show. They're great to
OG
us.
sponsor.
Amazing.
Love-
and
love
right
them.
down the street from the Aberdeen Ironbird Stadium. You need anything, car detail, car service, they're the ones for you. But if you go up there and you buy a used vehicle and you use the phrase, Rocco sucks, or you love the Ryan Ripken Show, you get up to $1,000 in gas money. This give you a gas card. I mean, this economy, you kidding me?
Yeah.
Gas money.
When I move, you move, baby.
Just
Just like that.
Still a lot of tanks of gas.
A lot of tanks of gas. Hey, let's talk about Maryland here for a moment here in general. We just mentioned the Baltimore Orioles trailing the Detroit Tigers, and it's a series that obviously people felt like they could have won last night. Fought back, had a chance to win the ninth with no outs and couldn't get the job done. You had the guys you wanted up. There was that play. I explained it on social media already with Jackson Holiday not tagging up. It was the right call. You can go check out my post on it. But for the Orioles, guys, they're in a good position. Few games. We got 7 games left total. Orioles are up very, very convincingly for a wild card spot. But the biggest thing is, can they hold off Kansas City? Who would have thought another wild card team would be struggling to try to finish out a season?
Yeah.
Kansas City and maybe the Giants are the best team we've ever seen. Maybe the San Francisco Giants are actually the hottest team in baseball.
Yeah, Kansas City's lost 6 straight. Just
I wonder how their fans are taking that.
Probably not well.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Probably not well.
And the Twins were able to sneak back, and the Mariners are trying to hold on. That's the case. The Orioles can clinch today if they win, and the Mariners lose. But it's a matter of time that the Orioles are going to be in. It'd have to take something catastrophic. But I hate to say it, guys, O's aren't probably going to win this division. Just unless they go to New York.
Honestly, I don't give a shit. I would rather let them be the terrible team that gets in, because history has shown that's how you win a World Series. Apparently, that winning the division doesn't mean that you're punching a ticket to the series. World Series.
Here's the biggest difference with, I feel like, how the fan base feels going into postseason. You know, obviously, knock on wood, hope everything goes well.
Yeah.
With the O's. Last season, you got to feel it was like, okay, some people from the outside looking in might have thought, you know, the O's just caught lightning in a bottle, and that's why they won the AL East, and that's why they won 101 games. No, this team, I mean, they played some really, really good baseball last season, and they got in, and they dominated the competition when they needed to, and unfortunately, they ran into the team that ended up winning the World Series in Texas and couldn't beat them once. But you had the feel and the belief that the O's could win the World Series last season with the team that they had. This season, I feel like the fan base, they're like, this team's just like limping to the finish line right now. Yes, they want them to get in. Yes, anything can happen when you do get in. Rip, you say it all the time. Baseball's crazy. Anything can happen. And you are absolutely right. But I feel like this season going into the postseason, fans are getting ready for heartbreak. They're like, with the team we have, the roster, the pitching staff that got injured early on, not having Kyle Bradish for the season, Felix Bautista not having him for the season. It's like, what happens now? Where do we go from here? Yes, they could go on a run and it would be great. But I feel like the majority of this fan base is just like sitting there. They're hoping, they're praying, but they don't think that's going to be the case in 2024.
Well, I mean, I guess when I throw that out here for a moment is, if you thought it was a lock that they were to go on this run last year, why do you think that they couldn't do it when you don't think they can do it?
Yeah.
Like, the Diamondbacks backdoored their way into the playoffs. They're like, hey, honey, take a picture. We're trying to lose out. and then they get in and they're like, oh, wait, we can win some games. Oh, we won that first round. Oh, then let's just go beat the Dodgers, who was the better team. Oh, let's go to Philly in Philly and win games 6 and 7 to go to the World Series. So, and the Diamondbacks were the 23rd best pitching staff last year. Number 1 defensively, I think we're Texas, but, you know, defense doesn't matter. Actually, I saw some people saying that the fundamentals and playing defense matters. It's interesting. I feel like that's been a talking point. I feel like
we've talked about that quite a bit.
No, we haven't. Not enough. But the point being is, you just got to get in the damn dance, man.
Yes.
Baseball playoffs is the one playoffs that I would argue, maybe hockey, were truly pandemonium. Like the NFL, it's really like, if you look at the statistics, and I don't know Kevin or Zach, I'm not going to ask Zach. Kevin, if maybe not ask you either. If the 1 or 2 seed typically over the past, one of those teams has represented the Super Bowl more times than not, a 1 or 2 seed over the last 20 years. Maybe.
Chiefs were a 3 seed last year.
Right,
San Francisco was
they were 1 seed.
The 1 seed.
Yeah. So more often than not, at least one of the teams in the conference has 1 or 2.
So then the Chiefs, then when they went to the Super Bowls, they were the 1 or 2 seed, correct?
Yeah, except for last year. But yeah.
Yes. So there's that. When San Francisco went to the Super Bowl a few years ago, or when they played the Chiefs the first time, they were a 1 seed. When the Ravens lost to the Titans, the Chiefs were the 2 seed.
Hey, but you know, the 2007 Giants, the 0-2 2007 Giants beat an 18-0 team.
Crazy.
There was. So actually, can you look up Super Bowl champions then in the last 25 years? In all seriousness, the Ravens are on that list for being a 4 seed.
Wild card team. Well,
they won the
2012.
division,
2012.
Yeah, they were.
The Chiefs won it last year as a 3 seed.
What were the Broncos when they won it with Manning?
I feel like they were pretty high up.
Seattle was a 1 or 2 seed.
Number 1 seed, yeah.
So what my point is in baseball, last year Texas was the 5 seed.
Yeah.
I mean,
won it.
You look at what happened in the NL. LA, everyone thought that they had
Texas-
the roster. They could win it all.
Yeah.
Nope. Braves, same thing. Nope.
Texas was a
like-
500. Texas Rangers were
They're 50 and 51 over the last 100
basically a
games.
500 team in their last 100 for the season last year.
I mean, we looked at the losing streaks that they had throughout the second half of
Yeah.
last season.
Yeah.
And it was like, you look back at those numbers, you're like, damn, this team won the World Series. But again, they were the winners of last year's trade deadline.
Yeah.
It's
without a doubt.
that's a big difference. We, gave our grades for the Orioles. We could go back and revisit them eventually, but they definitely were not the winners out of all of Major League Baseball at the trade deadline. And I'm not saying that every time a team wins a World Series, they're winners at the trade deadline. But like
they didn't win.
Just real quick, the Orioles, Kerry Carpenter just hit a solo shot
down
on
3-0, right? Yeah.
Good. Season's over. Season's over.
I'll say this. The Michael Ice did a fine job. The only one that I would say was a bad trade was obviously the Trevor Rogers one. I mean, Zach Eflin was an absolute fucking win.
And again, we said, Brad, if they would have traded Norby and
Even
Stowers
Eloy Jimenez is responsible for some wins down the stretch. So I hesitate to be like, oh, they were the big losers of the trade deadline.
I didn't say that. I didn't say
No,
losers.
yeah.
But I get but I'm saying if they would have, we said this before, if they would have traded Norby and Stowers for Eflin, all would have been well, I feel like, with that. But then you look at the Rodgers trade, that's an F because of what they gave up for him and where he is now. So
right.
It's tough.
Yeah, but again, for the Orioles, the Trevor Rogers is going to continue to be an incomplete grade until we see what happens next year. 2024 doesn't help anybody. That's where it's a failure if you're looking at what can help right now. But that's just the reality. You hope, and if he doesn't, then it really looks bad, especially when you see how Connor Norby's been swinging the bat. And I hope for Stowie too, he's going to get chances down there. That's actually becoming kind of like Birdland South. They got Bauman, Stowers, Norby, Christian Pache, and I feel bad. I love me Bow. Mike was on the wrong side of history with that home run. Kevin actually wants to ask him that
in a year.
No, you know what? We're gonna get him. You want me to call him right now?
That's your decision.
Can we revisit exactly what was said in the chat, please?
Yes, I said that Big Mike gave up the home run. That's a story because remember, we had Tim Meza on this show. He's the one who gave up the home run.
Listen, stop, Kevin. There's no defending this.
Actually, I do get the Mesa thing. We did ask him about that.
I love you, Kevin. Kevin, I love you so much, buddy. You're just a great guy.
You're a good kid.
It was the funny part was he didn't even let, what was it?
2 seconds.
The body wasn't even cold yet.
Kevin's
like, you know what? We should have Big Mike on the show to talk about the home run he gave up.
That's the difference.
Ryan's like, how about no? He's like,
that's the difference, Kevin. It's like, bro, like it's just like it's like if your boy just broke up with his girlfriend and then you're like, hey, do you mind if I go date her tomorrow?
Yeah. Oh man.
It's like same vibe.
Oh, Kevin.
It's very similar, a little bit different. But I think I said, you know what, Kevin, I'll let you ask him tomorrow.
Wow. Should get him on FaceTime. Hey, Mike, I got a friend who wants to talk to you real quick. And,
hey, what was it like actually giving up the 50th home run?
Yeah, I know. I've actually never met him, so I think this would be a good for.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike, great to meet you. That had to be great to be a part of history.
What Mike, your reaction?
We turn on the full Rocco interview. What was going through your mind?
Yeah. You turn it up into that. It's like, hey, Mike, just like, were you happy in that moment, or were you just upset? What was your reaction? It looked like a reaction of joy. So
it was not.
Skip Schumacher saying they're not going to walk Shohei.
Oh yeah, that was.
I love that.
They should.
Yeah, I love that too.
And I mean, they're already getting their ass beat. Respect the game. Let him try to chase. If he hits it out, he hits it out. Still, odds are in the favor he won't, even though he's been doing it a whole damn of a lot of times this year. It's truly incredible. You can love, hate, or whatever you want to feel. You're watching one of the greatest players to play the game. Like, truly, talent-wise, don't know how many times we're going to see this. And then he's not even pitching again yet, which is nuts.
Dude, how about 52?
What's it?
When he hit?
Hold on. What? So Brooks Brooks, what's this picture that Brooks sent you?
Picture Tim.
Oh, okay. He sent me the. It was when Tim Mesa got up to the bigs. He got a jersey signed from Judge because they're on the Yankees organization.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Tim's such a great guy.
He is.
Listen, enough time has passed for Tim Mesa to like joke about it. I'm sure that we'll get to that point with.
Well, I already did joke with him about it, right? For Mike, I got no problem telling him, texting him tomorrow. It's just the funny is that Kevin's like, "Oh, we're bringing it up."
Chase the storylines. Come on, boys.
What did he say? What were Kevin's exact words? Easy. I don't know.
Easy talking point.
Easy talking point. That's what it was. Easy.
Kevin's small talk's a little different.
Oh man, that was fantastic.
Oh yeah, Kevin.
Mike would have just gotten on the thing, and Kevin would be like,
God, you know how
Shohei.
You know how they do the ESPN fielder cams? We hooked Mike up.
Just do that
on the field while he's pitching.
What would Mike's response? Like, you know Mike better than anyone here, Rip. Like, what would his response have been to that if Kevin got him right now?
It would have been. I can
what
tell
would
you
Mike
right
have
now.
said? Like, what would he have looked? Because Mike will sometimes he'll do the stare real quick. And like when I interviewed him the first time, I wasn't sure if he was like pissed off at me or he wasn't feeling the vibe or he's just like that's just personality wise, but. Great guy.
My guess is he would have given the smartest ass response.
Yeah.
Because that's just how Mike is.
It might have just been like, well, it wasn't great.
Yes.
But then you know what? I'll get like fiery up Mike, and then we can have Nick Moore and a fired up Mike take you out.
Oh yeah.
Toss you in the harbor.
There it is together. You're a good kid. But you know what you're saying about being different? I know it's been different so far sticking in Maryland. How about down at the University of Maryland?
Oh yeah.
Terps. They just won, beat Nova. But specifically, Ty Felden, man, he is on one. And if you guys don't know who he is, he's not just one of the top receivers, obviously the top option on the Maryland Terps. He's arguably one of the top receivers in the entire nation.
Should be.
41 catches, 604 yards, and 5 tutties so far through 4 games. His worst outing so far this season was 117 yards against UVA, where he had 9 catches and a touchdown. The dude is absolutely balling out. Maryland, like low-key, could be like wide receiver you when you think about it.
Oh, yeah.
Stephon Diggs, DJ Moore, the recent ones that come to mind, 2 extremely talented players. But the Terps do what they got to do. And Villanova was a top 5 FBS team. So, hey, they beat a top 5 team. Did what you got to do. Terps, though, we got a lot more on them coming up in the future. But wanted to touch on them because
he's such a dog.
We got to give love to the area around here. Because we care about it.
He's one of those guys that you just hope he starts getting the recognition, because over the past, like before this week, he was still not on lists of like top 10 receivers in the nation, even though he was already putting up insane numbers. So, I mean, if he keeps doing this, it's just a matter of time before he's a household name, just at least in the media sense. But yeah, you hit the nail on the head. He's just dominated. He's putting up a case if he can continue this for the Blitnikoff.
They already have the hashtag Theismann, and I love that.
That's so elite.
That's electric.
It's awesome. It's awesome. Everyone's getting behind it. And Rip, while we're talking about the Maryland area, are we going to stick with the Terps? Because there's another football team that put in some work and had a big win this past weekend, yesterday specifically. And I'll tell you what, Brian Newberry is doing a hell of a job at Navy. The Mids, they're 3-0. They're off to a great start.
Yeah.
They did beat Temple, but they smoked Temple, and like it hurts. But Temple's
then they had undefeated
let me get to it. Relax, pump the brakes a little bit on your Adams Jeep before we go off the rails.
Beep beep.
This win yesterday was a fantastic win for the Navy football program. Memphis coming in, taking on the Tigers, and the Tigers. I mean, they were off to a great start, but Navy's not backing down from anyone this season. So I'm telling you what. This could be a big year for Brian Newberry, and the Mids already is, and hopefully they can continue and keep that up, because I feel like the fan base down there in Annapolis, they're behind this guy. They really like what he's doing, what he's about, and the coaching staff he brought with him, and they have a really good chance to do something special this year.
Oh, it's great to see them get off to a great start. I mean, look, Maryland, just like they say, crab cakes and football, man. That's what Maryland does, right, Kev?
What Maryland does.
Oh, yeah. You got the crab right here.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
He's got a football, doesn't
he? He has
doesn't
no
crab cakes
and football.
Yes.
That's what Maryland does.
I've heard that before.
Yep. Where'd you hear it from?
I don't know. Who said it?
Who did that?
Who said that?
Bradley Cooper said it, actually.
No, it was his Bradley's friend,
Yeah.
the
But-
sack.
I didn't know that.
It's the wedding crashers.
We know.
Wedding crashers,
Oh.
bro.
Do you? Well,
I've
everybody.
definitely heard the saying before, but not where it's from.
Kevin, do you know where that movie was filmed?
At a wedding.
Good trick,
Oh,
Kevin.
boy.
Uh,
Do you know where that football scene was filmed?
He doesn't even know the football scene.
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't even know the.
Okay. Well, that's your homework. Kevin, we're going to give you homework every week, and you're going to come back and report, and you're going to give us Kevin's ratings on movies.
When Rocco comes back in 4 weeks, you'll have to let him know.
Oh, good one. When Zach speaks again in 4 weeks, you'll have to let him know. Boom, dunked on you. How about that?
Crush it.
It shows up to work for the first time in 6 weeks and thinks he's just.
Oh, man.
I do realize it's great having everyone in. The attention spans are terrible over at the. We got to come up with a table name for you guys because
I actually not having
This
to
is just
talk
my
all the time
desk.
is really
This is
nice.
just my desk.
Well, you don't talk all the time. You just got to talk somewhat.
Rocco, get that out of my face. My fantasy team is not doing well enough for me to
Fist
be
bump
handing
me.
out fist bumps.
And guess what? The Fighting Daniel
Oh my God, you
Joneses
made me
are
click on an
beating the
ad.
Cleveland Browns.
Malik Neighbors, 61 yards, 6 catches.
And now he
a
just had
touchdown.
66 and another touchdown.
No
Yeah,
shit.
Oh
Oh my god.
let's just say the New York Giants defensive line's getting a little handsy with Deshaun, and he's not liking it this time. So another strip sack.
Wow.
I mean, you get the allegations, not even allegations, another lawsuit. Stop leaving Deshaun with women. Toddy.
If you can't
Malik
tell,
Neighbors
Zach's
is-
behind Ryan.
Yeah.
What?
If you can't tell, Zach's behind.
Yeah, I just saw the Malik Neighbors
Well,
touchdown.
you know what? Good. Maybe they'll have him focus a little bit. I can spoil it for Zach a little bit. You're a good kid sometimes.
Oh,
But
Bo Nix.
what else is going on here around? We'll give you an update because obviously what's impacting the Ravens? The Browns are losing, surprisingly, to the Giants after the Giants now are, well,
Browns being the Browns.
Yeah.
Browns are being the Browns right now, 20-7, 21-7 at the moment. The Chargers are up 10-7 at the half on the Steelers. And then obviously the Ravens are kicking off against the Cowboys at 4:25. Bengals play on Monday night against the Commanders. And guys, the Commanders team, I'll tell you what, is it Britt, the cornerback for the Bengals, that is
Damn
very,
favorite.
very direct when talking about teams, offenses, and players. And the Commanders got to win.
Very much so.
Bo Nix threw his first touchdown.
Yeah, I saw the
No,
Marcus
didn't
popped it
throw
and
it.
we popped it up.
He didn't throw it.
Didn't throw it.
He ran it in.
Ran it in.
The
Another one.
No, it's Jaleel McLaughlin ran one in, and then Bo Nix ran one in, and there's two field goals.
Yeah, I'm Marcus wants us to apologize. And listen, I will give credit where credit's due when the game's over. I've seen this rodeo too many times at Auburn, so I'm gonna wait and see what happens, and then I will issue a public apology, handwritten.
What is the public apology?
Just to Bo Nix, even though I'm just not a Bo Nix guy, man. Don't
Not a
believe
Bo
him.
Nix guy.
I don't hate the guy. I just don't
Seems
think
like you
he's
hate the
that.
guy.
I don't think.
Yeah,
he's
I
that
mean, I
good.
can relate. It's like me and Caleb Williams.
Well, I think
Yeah.
Caleb threw a pick in the red.
Oh no, he didn't.
Yeah, Caleb.
No, he didn't.
That game
Brad's-
is atrocious.
Brad's favorite pastime is just, sitting in front of his TV and hate watching Bears games just to yell at Caleb Williams. He's like, oh, yeah. It's a
Look,
great
and
pick
the
right
thing of
there.
it is, the thing of it is, it's not even against Caleb Williams himself. It's just the rest of the goddamn media that just was claiming him to be the next, Tom Brady, and then here he is, just like every other rookie quarterback.
Should have started.
Actually, he
Rome
is
Odunze.
14 for 23 for 151.
He
though,
threw
at
a
half.
pick. He threw a pick at the Indy 25. They turned it over on downs in the goal line for go-to-go situations.
Yeah, that was, if you saw the play calling on that, they threw two toss plays on the goal line. And yeah.
Yeah,
very
I don't
bad.
have the videos up here. I'm staying locked in.
Don't worry. Zach's watching it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll keep everyone updated. Although Red Zone's behind.
Good. Good. I hope
We
it
just,
stays behind.
listen, we could just go to Zach for updates. We'll just, how's the game, Zach? Boom. And I think you do a really good job of just keeping us in the mix. With how
I'm learning a
everything's
lot this afternoon.
going. Yeah.
I'm learning a
We
lot.
we are learning quite a bit, but the thing that we've learned, we mentioned earlier, the Ravens, Cowboys, just under 2 hours away from kickoff here, guys. We feeling
I do have
nervous
a poll.
about this? You got a poll? What's the poll?
Had it up for an hour. No, just kidding. 26 minutes. What's your lock of the Ravens game is what I put it. And I wasn't going over anything from Vegas, just making some random numbers here.
Yep.
So Mark Andrews breaks out this game for 100-yard touchdown or 100 yards receiving. 32% say yes to that stat line. Derrick Henry scores 2 touchdowns. 46% of our viewers say that'll happen. KVN gets 2 sacks this game. Kyle Van Noy. Only 7% say that's going to happen.
That's tough to do.
Lamar. Well, I mean, did he have 2 last week or just 1?
He had 1, but then Odafe had 2.5. Was it?
No, Van Noy had 2. Owe had 2.5.
That's what I thought.
Oh, yeah, they did.
Hard to replicate that.
So it can happen. Yeah,
it could.
Lamar Jackson rushes for 100 yards and 3 total touchdowns.
Oh,
14% say that.
3 total touchdowns.
well, you know what? Now lead us in. We'll do our bets here in a little bit. But the biggest part, guys, how are we feeling? Because honestly, this is a huge game for Baltimore. And not for Dallas, but if Dallas drops a game, they're 1-2. They'll lose 2 home games. Baltimore dropping to 0-3. And depending on what happens in the games today, Pittsburgh comes back to win. I know you got Pittsburgh twice. That'd be a 3-game advantage off the jump for the Steelers. But the bigger part is 129 teams have started 0-3 in the last 25 years. Only 1 has made the playoffs. That is the talking point here.
Yeah.
Any other worry? We talked about CeeDee Lamb. We talked about Micah Parsons. Is if there's something that you want to see, and maybe Brad, I can start with you, of like, what would you want to see this game for the Baltimore
as far as
Ravens?
like an improvement's concerned?
Improvement concern that's really on your mind that we haven't talked about.
I mean, I think obviously the elephant in the room, maybe it's not even that quiet of an elephant. It's the offensive line, right? Like, I mean, I don't know what's going on in the locker room or what the relationships are with coach and some of these guys. But I would love to see more Ben Cleveland out there. I would love to see Rosengarten just continue to get better. I don't know what's going on with Fulele. So I mean, if they got a triple team Micah Parsons, just freaking do it. They gotta put an extra tight end out there to help with the blocking. Just do it. Feed Derrick Henry the ball. Just want to see an improvement from that offensive line so that Lamar Jackson isn't running for his life every play and that the rushing attack actually does something this season.
Well, I think that's a part. Well, and to be fair, the run game in the second half last week was pretty solid.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry got going. There was a couple big runs. And
they just abandoned it, though. Fourth quarter.
Well, a tough 3rd-and-1 penalty. I think that maybe this will be mine or maybe this is one of your guys. I think it's the Ravens not hurting themselves, shooting themselves in the foot. That 3rd-and-1 was big. That hurt a lot in the circumstances. And then it moved to 3rd and 6. And you had the false start there that pushed to the 3rd and 6. And then the Ravens don't convert. So putting yourself in bad positions. The Ravens have been one of the most penalized teams in the NFL so far. Kevin, do you remember the numbers on that for the penalties that the Ravens have had?
For the game last week, it was 11 for 109. I can quickly pull up the total.
11 penalties. That is
and
crazy.
All of them weren't.
Well, you know what? And I'll say this: the week 1, any of the penalty, I don't want to say any, but a lot of the penalties were bullshit week 1. So I don't even know if we want to even count those penalties. I know that media will, and obviously it's going to go down on the stat line, but the illegal formation penalties were all just absolute dog shit.
It's like how many of them were an illegal formation penalties?
So,
I
take those out. I look at more of if there's the Phantom one for the face mask was bad. That was a bad call.
Unbelievable.
People can be mad about the Brandon Stevens, the Devontae Adams one, where it was very touch and go. I'd like to see the guys play. But ones that hurt you in its execution, the false start to me, that 3rd-and-1 for Derrick Henry is the one that sticks out. It's plays like that is going to be tough. And for Baltimore, then you could say if not beating themselves or putting yourself in a situation, lost 2 challenges. That doesn't help with timeouts in certain situations and circumstances. Zay Flowers being one and the Devontae Adams being the other. And then Kevin, right, if you win one of those challenges, you get a 3rd, correct?
It's just one now.
Yeah.
You just got to win one. So
I'll say this too. I mean, the historically bad clock management from Harbaugh. It's just like one of his weak parts of the game, and I think it's just something that fans have just come to accept. So if it doesn't have to come down to the time management, I think that'll also be great.
Of course, with you saying that, I want to piggyback off that and kind of make my point here with the Ravens and what I'd like to see improve this week. And it's, we've talked about the players. Coaches coach, players play. Okay.
Yeah.
And last week's loss against the Raiders, it's on everyone. But coaching needs to be better, man, especially in the second half, the fourth quarter specifically, because I'm tired of seeing it. The flock's tired of seeing it. These double-digit blown fourth quarter leads. It's terrible. It's inexcusable with the team you have. I get what people are saying about the offensive line. There's some holes there. You lost 3 starters from a season ago in Zeitler, Moses, and John Simpson. But stick to what got you there. Stick to what got you the lead.
Yeah.
And stop beating yourself, because that's what the Ravens have done year in and year out. In these if you get to the fourth quarter and the Ravens have a 10-point lead, as a fan, you almost sit there and say, okay,
got them where we want them.
Hold on to the edge of your seat. Well, yeah, that's what the opposition is saying, man. It's like they need to be more consistent in fourth quarters. It's like if you have the lead, if you're up 10, you should be winning that game. There's no excuse for it.
Mike Tomlin said it best. The Ravens can't play a full 60 minutes. They don't put 4 quarters together at the end of the day. And what else did they say, Kevin? It was when the game's on the line, the Ravens are going to try to burn the house down. We see that all the time, with just obviously not as much this year because they haven't been in those situations.
Tried to do it last year in the AFC Championship game.
It's just send pressure, see if it bursts pipes. But biggest thing I want to see today, Derrick Henry rushed for 125 plus yards. Just feed the man.
Yeah.
The Cowboys are not good against the run. We went out and paid this behemoth of a human being to go out there and run the day. You don't show up in that fit. You don't show up in that fit and not go for 125 and 2 tutties.
That's a 2+
We're rolling that again
right there.
First off,
I love that.
I love that suit.
Swagged out.
I love it.
I wish I could pull hats off like that.
I feel
maybe I'll
same.
like. I don't know. I love the hats. Like Ed Reed's hats are also like absolute fire.
Yeah. It's like iconic.
I just wish I could pull that off.
I think you could pull off a flat brim, not like a cowboy hat, but like a like a fedora, but like a flat brim, like with
how
a
many
cigar
people
how
many people are pulling off fedoras?
No,
I don't know.
Nobody.
I really wanted to wear a fedora in Italy just because I thought I'd fit in, and Ariana would not let me. She's like, absolutely not. I won't be seen with you. You're not buying one. Like, it's just not happening. So,
I have a feeling that bag he's holding is worth more than everything I own.
Yes.
1,000%.
Yes. How much do you think, like, what the price tag on that thing is?
That whole outfit together
probably costs like 20 grand, 30 grand more.
Oh, it's not coming up anymore. Good.
I could see that.
Awesome. Cool.
What happened?
We get it though.
What are you trying to pull up?
Just the video.
Yeah, I feel like that outfit. I feel like that suit is probably some designer.
Of course, Joe has a fedora. It all makes sense now.
Wait, you talking about the Derrick Henry video?
Oh, there it is. Yeah, it wasn't pulling up for me.
That's because
I just want to like pause it. So like, that's what is that a Louis Vuitton?
Looks like a Louis Vuitton bag. Yeah.
And are those he wearing boots there?
Yeah, he's suede boots.
Yep.
And just like what the suit jacket with like maybe a wife beater.
Sunglasses probably cost more than my car.
Tank top, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, the sunglasses are probably look like maybe their coach or something. I don't know. But either way, like it's that's a fit right there.
I like that's the thing is
the color's amazing. I just love it all.
So do you feel that you'd have the confidence to pull off that fit? Like in general?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Both of you.
Yes. I would like am I saying do I think I'd look good in it? Probably not, but I would I'd walk out with that suit confidently.
Oh, I said okay.
Yeah, I think I'd wear that confidently. And it might not get the
people
best
would
reaction
be like,
from the outside perspective. They'd be like, what the hell are you wearing, dude? Like you can't pull it off.
Why is that, by the way? Like why is it that celebrities can wear that kind of shit and people are like, oh, it's just Derrick Henry?
Because people are used to seeing it. And,
I know, but
but also Derrick Henry being as big as he is, the physical specimen, like him and Kevin. If Kevin wore that too, I'd probably say the same thing.
I'd laugh hysterically. I don't know if you'd have to get
Kevin wearing that would be incredible.
That's I think Kevin like even like with like women, right? Like why is it that women celebrities can like wear hardly anything and they're like, oh, it's just Lady Gaga, like whatever. But like
didn't Lady Gaga for one of the events, and Zach might have not been born yet. But it was
the meat dress.
No, she was in an egg.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like they carried her in egg.
She pulls out the craziest stuff, and it's
unbelievable.
People are just like, oh, it's just art, whatever. But like a random woman.
She wore a meat dress, and people were like, oh, that's so brave of her. Like that's weird. No, that's weird. Like we shouldn't just be doing that.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. They wear crazy stuff and people just call it brave.
Yeah, Lizzo wearing a, I don't know,
like
string bikini out.
There's just
public.
so many.
It's a basketball.
But I
especially-
will say, people that are confident just wearing whatever they are, like, I want to get to that point.
That's what I'm saying.
If I want to feel like I'm peacocking, I would love to be able to peacock. You know, Kev?
Gotta let you fly.
That's you need to get like a back attachment and just have like a peacock.
It's not. No,
That's
do
not
you
what-
understand the phrase
You
peacocking?
strut like you mean it.
No,
Yes.
no.
I like that Kevin has just gotten to the point where he just denies when he's wrong. He's just like, nope, that's exactly what it is. No, yes.
It's hard to tell sometimes if Kevin is actually fucking with us or if he's serious about what he's saying.
Yeah,
I don't. I mean, that's what I thought.
So
peacocking meant.
peacocking is you wear something that's so eye popping, it's like an attention grabber, or
Nice.
good or bad, but everyone's like, oh my goodness, like it's attention's drawn to you, and the person that's wearing it, you're peacocking because like peacocks can have
right.
the colorful feathers.
Yeah.
So it grabs your attention.
You with the orange
Okay,
pants
that
doing a
makes sense.
split
That
at
makes
first
sense.
base.
Oh, me doing the orange plants,
Big
doing
peacock.
a split. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, what you got,
I
Brad?
have breaking news.
Oh boy.
The Orioles have reported that Relish is this season's winner for the condiment race.
I did see that. I hate that. For
Almost-
This is my Super Bowl.
Is once again the regular season hot dog race champion.
This is my Super Bowl.
I haven't
This is
been
back-to-back
this
years.
pissed off since about an hour and a half ago when the Fanatic didn't have the Philly shirt on.
Naked fanatic.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's a
good. It's
disservice.
a green guy right there,
It's a
just like
disservice.
Relish.
You're a green guy.
Relish. Wow,
I'm
this
upset.
is the best news
That's
of the day.
that's just like
Wow.
listen, I guess the least favorite condiment has to win every once in a while.
Well, it's
and
a
just
winner
get the
for a reason.
awards.
It's
It's
because it's-
understandable.
well, it's back-to-back years, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just winners win. Winners win.
Playmakers gonna make plays. I
Oh
feel like
my
it's rigged.
God.
So Ollie took out an iceberg.
Come here, buddy. Hey,
Oh,
Ollie,
you sure
come
did.
here.
Ollie.
Come here, buddy. Ollie, come here.
come here, Ollie.
Wow.
Just run around.
Oh my God.
Once more, you open the door.
Ollie.
Ollie, come here.
Come here.
Go eat it on the Gridiron Golf. Ollie. Ollie.
Place.
Place. Oh boy, yes.
Hey,
Oh,
he's a
not
good
there. I
pup.
wanted the putt. Damn it, Ollie. He's been getting in the way all day.
Rocco,
You know,
was
he's
putting
su-
for
he-
like 25
He's such a
minutes.
good pup.
He's a good pup, and he's literally there.
He's all right.
You hit my dog.
I didn't hate you. No, that makes me seem like I don't like dogs. I love dogs. Big dog guy. He just happened to be standing in the way
That's
like
what
a mini
non-dog
golf
guys say.
obstacle. So, yeah, just had to use a soft putt, and it tapped his ankle.
He
rib.
stole in Rocco's defense. He stole a lot of golf balls.
Yeah, he
Ollie.
did, but he gave
Yeah,
him back.
Rocco only would have been putting for 22 minutes if he didn't spend 3 trying to get the golf balls back.
Never
are we
mind.
done?
I'm just gonna let you have this one. You
I
know,
think we're getting close to being done for the day. What do we think?
I
just
think
do
we
our-
gotta go our best bets.
Can I-
Don't-
Oh, you're back, Zach.
Yeah, I gotta talk about how I'm riding Derrick Henry's over every single time. No, I don't. Yeah, no, I know what I'm doing.
You're
It
about to
was-
get.
There was.
Yeah.
It was
You're
getting
gonna
Lipped.
There
Oh yeah,
was.
riding Derrick Henry's over
No, it's not what
once
we heard.
again.
That's
No,
not-
you can just say what you mean. It's okay.
We're taking his over in touchdowns. Once again, Zach made the graphic. Zach actually worked before this. Rocco.
Huh?
All right, so Derrick Henry over 68.5 rushing yards. It should be double that. It should be double that. So that's what we're taking.
All right.
Wait, so you're doubling that number?
No, that's what it should be double. Like he should get over double that. Like I said, it should be like 125 for Derrick Henry today. They should just hand him the ball 25 times and let him just have a Derrick Henry day.
Okay. Derrick Henry, if it's broke, don't fix it. And I think that's what you're feeling, Brad.
Yeah. So I got Mark Andrews over 37.5. He had 51 yards last week. I took the over on 50 and I got it by 1 yard. I'm expecting him to actually have a day today as well.
We're hoping. We're hoping on that.
Rip and I knew like when we saw the Mark Andrews bet or whatever, or like Zach was like reading them off. He's like, these are the bets that have been made. And he goes, Brad made that one.
Sure
He's
did.
like,
Well,
yes,
you
he did.
Going
Sure
back
did.
to the
Mark
well
Andrews
if it
guy.
works.
Yeah.
Hey, you mentioned earlier Rock how Rashad has shown playmaking ability in the past.
Yep.
Before you eat, why don't we wait to eat that, buddy?
Okay.
Yeah,
There
why
go.
did you pull it out?
Being on, you know what? Let's finish the job here.
Jesus
Ollie gets to eat an
Christ.
iceberg. I can eat a roost tart on
Well,
there.
we're finished.
You wanna go place and eat
I was
the
going
rooster?
to eat. I wasn't going to distract anyone.
Well, you were
brought it
about
up.
to go, so that's why.
All right. I know. I'm going to go. Rashad Bateman touchdown. That's what I think. That's my bet of the day. And I know it's a little iffy. This could happen. But I think this week 3 is the day that the Ravens unleash Rashad Bateman and he finds the end zone. He's due. He's due. What better team to do it against than a Cowboys defense that gave up an ungodly amount to the Saints? Are the Saints good?
No,
Are
I
the
think they might
Saints
be good.
pretenders? But we don't know. We don't know.
No, the Saints are.
We don't know.
The Saints are.
They might be
The
back.
Saints figured it out.
Yeah.
Clint
Who's
Kubiak.
Clint Kubiak?
Yeah,
exactly.
Clint Kubiak has saved the city.
I
Yes.
was the way I talk about Bo Nix is the way I thought about Dennis Allen as the head coach the first couple of years. I was so out on that guy. I was like,
I mean, I'm still
and the
kind
hire,
of-
I was like, but like, I mean, he's got the Saints marching again, man.
Saints are marching, but it is
Saints are
3-0 in that game with Philly. But New Orleans, Raheed Shaheed had the big touchdown. It was over the top. Alvin and Kamara had a big gain for a touchdown. I think what we're getting at it is Kamara had a big game, 4 touchdowns, but Derek Carr, even on the limited pass attempts, still had a day there in Dallas. And that's why for mine, I'm going with Lamar Jackson over 1.5 passing touchdowns. I think he's going to throw for 2 today. I think the point that you're making, Bateman could be one of those recipients. I think maybe Mark Andrews gets his first tutty today. I'm hoping for it, but it feels like if they're going to try to stop the run, which Dallas should, if they can't stop it, run the ball down their throats.
Yeah.
But I just feel like, hey, the number was good and we're having a good time with it. Let's rock and roll with it. Kevin, you're going a different wide receiver, but he's been the number 1 wide receiver for Baltimore so far, and that's Zay.
Yes, it is. I think Zay, just based off volume alone, 54.5, I would smash that over. I mean, he got 11 targets last week. He's obviously become a favorite of Lamar Jackson. So I'm going Zay Flowers over, especially if the Ravens can establish their run game, force Dallas to really hone in on that. I think it'll create a lot of one-on-one opportunities, especially if the Ravens can work some play action in there.
They should.
And he's been a big target machine for Baltimore. He has been that guy for them in the first 2 games, had his first touchdown last week. So Zay, they like getting the ball in his hands. And those were our best bets, brought to you by our friends at Hollywood Casino in Charlestown up in
West Virginia.
Oh, we're still right. We're still good for that. We were get it right, get it tight for that.
Can we harmonize next time or try? Like really, like I'll go
You
up,
wanna-
you go
you wanna
down.
be the harmonizer?
I could. I think. I don't know.
I will say, just kind of building off what Kevin was just saying with the play action and stuff. I've been saying this for the past week, and I feel like it's a pretty, you hear all the media saying it. Let's look at the Saints. Let's use the Saints as an example. The Saints were an incredible play action team last year, and were one of the lowest teams at running play action. This year, they're up over 50% of their plays or their passes are play action. And we see the kind of success they're having now. There is no reason with the threat of Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry in the backfield that at least half of your pass attempts should be play action, some sort of motion, some sort of rollout. Especially with the offensive line in the shape that they're at, if you allow the defense to know, okay, if they're passing, there's going to be any sort of play action, any sort of fake, and they can pin their ears back, it's going to be another long day for this offensive line trying to get with Lawrence. You try to get, obviously, Parsons off the edge. It just could be such a long day for the offensive line. So I hope that Monken protects them, protects Lamar, and just gets these wide receivers open using some more play action, using the middle of the field. I also think this is going to be a big day for Isaiah Likely again. I think
I hope
he gets back into the mix. You started talking. I was like, I thought you were about to take it
No, I
away.
was just agreeing
You were
with
like,
you.
I hope, and I was like, okay, go off. And
I
then
hope
you're
so.
like, and then you just stopped, and I was like, now we're just staring at each other.
got him on my fantasy team, man. I need him to go off.
You guys were looking to ask who wanted to. No, I'm not going to say it.
What? Go ahead, say it.
Nope.
Say something stupid, Rep.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
You guys have done that enough.
That's good.
Haven't done that enough. But I think that's good. I think we got all the points. But we're going to be back tomorrow for a regularly scheduled, and luckily there will be no football going on during that game, so we can have some locked in individuals. Probably not. But And we'll have a guest joining us. We might have multiple guests, but one for sure, Birdland, definitely misses his presence, and I'll leave it at that. But it's one of those guys you'll love to hear from on the Ryan Ripken Show. At the moment, we'll be live tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern time when baseball is done.
Got some great guests lined up for Thursday as well.
Yes, we do.
Oh, yeah.
Should have a great time here. So make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Make sure you're ready. 3 p.m. Eastern time, tip off tomorrow. We'll see you there. And should we cue it, Brad, and get on out of here?
Yeah, let's get the fuck out.
Oh, man. No one needs a drink more than Brad. Another one.
All right, as always, here at the Ryan Ripken Show, we appreciate you guys. And enjoy the afternoon slates. Enjoy football Sunday. Hopefully the Orioles make a comeback and the Ravens get in the win column. Have a day, have a night. We'll see you tomorrow for a brand new edition of the Ryan Ripken Show.
Peace.